Hey, how's it going? My name is Q, and on today's episode of What the Hell YouTube, we're going to be covering the whole drama between Actman and Quantum TV, and how YouTube is a company full of people who don't know what the word common sense means. Like it's not that hard to understand. So, without further ado, let's dive into this crap show, also known as Justiceforactman. So let me give you the entire story in a nutshell. Quantum TV, who is someone who reviews TVs and is also known as the #1 brand in honesty, made an Elden Ring review so bad that everyone in the Elden Ring community took a massive dump all over his video. When he received all the criticism, and mainly people calling him a moron, he made up a follow video stressing the fact that not only is he a new player to the franchise, okay, fair point, but that the people who play Elden Ring should kill themselves. Okay lad, you're losing me here. He legit bullied the Elden Ring community, saying how people who play it don't have a ring on their finger, how they have no friends, and how the game is made for people who have nothing better to do than to sink thousands of hours into a game. And when he got backlash from the community he bullied, he calls them toxic and tells the community to kill themselves. You can't make this up. Like, how stupid can you be? If you're new to a franchise and new to a community, maybe making enemies with them by calling them lifeless idiots isn't a great idea. You expect this man to have some level of common sense, like no one is gonna welcome you if you tell them to kill themselves the first time you meet them. That's basic 2 + 2. Not only that, you proceed to call them toxic after you told them to kill themselves and wonder why no one likes you, Quantum. Regardless, after this happened, a YouTuber by the name of Mischief, who hit 100k recently, congrats, made a review, and during the crap storm, that was Quantum TV's hot take. When Mischief made his video, he used some clips from Quantum because how else are you going to criticize a video? And something I'd like to point out is that if you have valid criticism to the video you're watching, then it's considered fair use. In other words, if you Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V someone's video, that's not fair use. But if you have something to say about the video, like giving them feedback, then that's fair use. If you want more detail, watch some Ordinary Gamer's video on it. But Quantum, the delusional idiot he is, thought otherwise and tried to take down Mischief's video. Why? Mischief didn't want to deal with this, so he took down the video, but Quantum didn't stop there. Oh no. He got such a massive ego boost from this that he tried to take down Actman's review of his hot take, and thank God YouTube denied it. Spoiler alert, this is the only thing YouTube does right. But after Actman's video was falsely claimed, he decided to bring out the coat and shovel and tried to do some digging to terminate Quantum. Actman did some digging and found some very interesting things about him. Let me start the list by first mentioning that he's very homophobic, or as he puts it, anti-gay. So much so that he wished gays died in mass shootings. Off to a great start, aren't we, Quantum? He also didn't want to be a part of satanic gay sex with his dad. He makes many hate speeches on different platforms. He's infamously known for submitting false copyright claims and doesn't even bother to fill in all the information needed to submit a claim. And that he's also ban evading, and his cover-up for all of this is that he got hacked in 2018. So much for the #1 brand in honesty. Watch Actman's first video on the matter if you want to know more about all the things he said, but you can see how horrible all these things he said are. And you would think that YouTube would ban someone who would be so detrimental to the site. Well then, not the greatest choice, but it's alright. Maybe they didn't have enough evidence, so Actman made a follow-up video expanding on the points he's already made and giving new points like how Quantum steals TVTubers content, turns it into an abomination and calls it his own, and how he's a self-certified master engineer. Quantum also slanders over other TV YouTubers and doxed the Actman's mother. What? YouTube, how do you allow a man who not only has posted hate speeches and expresses his hate for gay people, you've also allowed a man to monetize and earn money by doxing his mother and sharing his personal information? Like, YouTube, hello, is there anyone with half a working brain cell in there? The Quantum TV Part 2 video was released, and I want to say the style of the video was stellar. It looked amazing, and the video was just overall a masterpiece that would kill Quantum once and for all. Or so we thought. One other thing I'd like to mention is that Actman posted some tweets and some community posts, as a joke by the way, talking about how it's gonna dox people and ruin their lives by falsely copyright striking them because YouTube allowed it. After a while, the video being posted, it was taken down, and guess what the reasoning behind the takedown was? The hate speeches Quantum posted that were displayed on video? Nope. The doxing that Quantum did being posted? Nope. What about maybe the fact that the Actman responding to Quantum could be considered as cyberbullying? Wrong. Damn, you're terrible at this guessing, huh? But the video wasn't taken down for any of that. It was taken down for nudity and sexual content. Huh? So you're telling me that someone at YouTube HQ was so turned on by the image of Quantum having a poorly photoshopped cucumber in front of his face that not only did they take down that video, they also demonetized two completely unrelated videos. What is so sexually attractive about a cucumber? Like, I don't get it! If it wasn't obvious, the video most likely wasn't taken down because of nudity, rather some other reason that's not being told to the public. In the video, Actman in a way exposed YouTube for the lack of common sense and effort that was put into fact-checking everything when making the decision to unban Quantum. And I think this was the reason that YouTube took down the video. This is just personal theory, there's nothing to confirm this. Because they didn't want their laziness to be exposed to the mainstream media, so they decided to take down what at first seemed like an easy way out. But the reality is that Actman and other YouTubers who care about the matter have made this decision more worse than what would have happened if YouTube took the feedback and applied it to their team. This also just supports the fact that YouTube is so goddamn lazy that instead of applying the feedback and ban or at the very least suspending Quantum, not only have they done nothing to him, they've also took down the video and didn't apply any feedback. Instead, they chose the lazy option. Now they're suffering the consequence. Another thing I'd like to mention is that not only was the video taken down for nudity, the takedown appeal was also rejected 30 minutes after submitting the video. And the video was around an hour long, which means that not only did he not even watch the entire video, they also thought that anything else mentioned in the video like doxing was less at risk of putting YouTube in a bad spot than the apparent nudity in the video. And it just goes to show and support Actman's claim of YouTube just being outright lazy. After a while, Actman got a message from his partner saying that he was going to be kicked from the YouTube partner program, which means that he'll no longer gain money from doing YouTube. And after a bit, get confirmation that he was indeed kicked from the YouTube partner program. YouTube finally gave Actman some feedback by replying to his tweet about the kick, saying that he was threatening to dox people, and that's why he was removed. Holy hell, either we missed a beat or everyone at YouTube HQ is over the age of 103. He posted those as a joke, and you would know that it was a joke if you watched Actman's video, which we all know you didn't, since the ban appeal was rejected 30 minutes after its submission. And I get that out of context, yes, the tweets are pretty bad. But YouTube, you know what looks worse out of context? YouTube sides with doxer and homophobic user and silences its user for pointing out their bad business practices. No, that's not a real article. No, I don't want that to be a real article. By YouTube A, not banning Quantum despite being proven to be extremely homophobic, and B, silencing someone who is completely innocent who tried to rid someone, is showing that your platform is homophobic and you support killing gays and doxing. Not saying that's what they've actually said, but by doing this, you're showing people that's pretty much what you're saying. And mainstream media are gonna have a field day by twisting this in all sorts of crazy ways, like the title I just made. When mainstream media makes these articles, YouTube will die. And when YouTube dies, its users and people who have a job on there all of a sudden have to go back to working sucky jobs that they don't enjoy doing to make a quick buck. But all this can be solved, YouTube, if you just did the right thing. Someone just gave them one common sense bill, and they banned Quantum and gave Actman his monetization back, as well as an apology to everyone who's affected by this. Then everyone can take a sigh of relief, and everyone can be happy knowing that not only is their platform safe from another notorious copyright abuser and doxer, YouTube also shows that they don't support this kind of bad behavior, and it shows their platformers that there are people who still know how to do their job, but until then, everyone's gonna be upset. Quantum's gonna thrive, mainstream media is gonna thrive, and the actor attorney will have lost. Those are my thoughts, and the entire situation as far as now summarized. And I really hope that YouTube will come to their senses, but at this point, that's just wishful thinking on my end. I really hope Actman can get his job back, and I hope that scumbag can get suspended, but the only thing we can do now is just hope. And to think all of this because of how bad Quantum's Elden Ring hot take was. This is SQ and you're tuning out of the Alpha Network. #JusticeForActman.